Here's the other one. Sometimes you just get an answer.
Yeah, what else can they say?
So I was just with Matt. Sorry to be was at 1.
But I'm looking at that table back
And
there.
I had emergency dentist.
I could bring that one in and put it here, and then you pull that part apart.
If you can come
Not this one, but the one back there.
So
It looks like maybe.
then for next appointment, it took so long. Like it took me to sit there. So I was so late that I couldn't drop her home. I brought her to the dentist. So she could sit in the waiting room and then night texting to sit up and pick her up and take her. Oh.
No, you're good. You're good. Jabbering.
How are you?
Very good. You're busy.
Yeah, I know. Not when people need
And he wants to do more. She said, you know, her surgery, she's going into 4 months. Can't drive, can't walk. I love my sister, but I have been driving to every appointment, every blood lab, every.
last week. I told anytime you need
Yeah, well, she was so fiercely independent that her to depend on someone, and her friend comes over to do her laundry. She's appreciative, but she's like, she can't do it. She's a rule follower. She will follow the doctor. So she goes under this person for her procedure to check to see if she's healed enough.
So I would just maybe
Of
take
course, she
this,
has a big truck.
take that.
Well, that's
She can't have like a little VW. Yeah.
if she had like a 911 Porsche.
Yeah, right.
It would be easy, but she has to climb.
Grab that now and stand right there.
That's what happens when you're
And it's a 2006. She loves the truck. And I said, you know, if I won the Mega Millions, I'd buy you a new GMC dually for your kids.
2 more members of your board.
She's so practical. I was backing into the space of the doctor, and she was looking at the camera. I would have to get used to that if I had a new truck. She doesn't have any technology.
Yeah, there's nothing on you happy.
I mean, that's how
I hope she doesn't do the Mega
Yeah, right, yeah.
Because $300 million would be given away to a cat foundation.
I'm gonna go ahead and put this on. Make sure everything's. And this one is on.
I know you already have heavy responsibility.
Yeah.
Test.
Do you think after you 3, what you were 4 are signed in, you could ship it off
Okay.
to there?
Yeah. This is only for alts and rep.
That's right.
Yeah. Oh,
I'm sure about that.
yeah.
I think it's everywhere.
So,
Oh,
yeah,
no, it is.
two.
Yeah,
So,
and then the reps are on the back. Oh, no, they're on
alternates, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Actually, oh no, he needs to.
yeah.
Okay, dear. You can go do the Dell meeting. Dell is out. What time you leave?
I have to be there at
Yeah,
6.
put it together. That's why I have it on that side.
And I can start going. I've had 3 sips of Red Bull.
Uh-oh. And painkillers. Yay.
I just found out that they have root shots. I woke up and took it this morning. It woke me up. Emergency appointment. And of course, 6 months ago, I gave everything. So I brought it down.
No, bird goes to
Can I tell Thomas? Should have recorded.
That was my well, you didn't tell me. When did you see him? I said yes. He gets to say yes.
Oh.
He does the first one. Except for me. Okay, so I have to see her. No, it's Topsy Turvy.
Sorry, can I bring my remote?
Yeah, you don't want to bring that.
I have a friend who's a geriatrician, and his mother was like asking questions. He's like, "What are you?" I'm like, now there's 6 days before change your diet. Change your diet and stop fiber. One day, I think it's
He'll come back. The night before you know things happen. But you see the next morning. My car is right.
I mean, I've never done this
Good afternoon. Can I ask everybody who is standing to sit down so we can commence the meeting, please? Welcome, everybody, to the December 12th, 2023 meeting of 1PS. As many of you know, this is my last meeting as the chair of the organization. In the past, I have given praise where due to the board of directors that I've worked with, have been very helpful. I also want to thank all of you out there who are the reps and the alts from the various neighborhoods who are so strongly in support of this great organization. I think that I've been somewhat reticent and have not thanked enough Denise Goolsby, who of course is the heart and soul of I also want to thank manager. He's come in. He's been extremely supportive of the organization. I want to thank you, Scott. I want to thank the police department represented so well by Mike Villegas.
Thank you.
Nathan Gunko is not here, but Ron Skyberg is. Ron, thank you for coming tonight. And finally, Mayor Pro Tem Bernstein, who I think has come to every single. He has come to every single meeting since the first of the year. I want to thank him. He always comes with a wealth of information. He is very supportive of the organization. This is his last meeting as the city council representative as Mayor Pro Tem. I just want you all to know that he advised me the other day that because nobody else on the council wants this position, he will be here next year as Mayor Bernstein. With that, let's move to the approval of the agenda. Any opposition to the agenda? If not, I will proclaim it has been approved. Minutes, and I want to thank Bob Heimer for the minutes. He took great minutes last time, and we've adopted those minutes. Thank you, Bob. Any comments about those minutes? If no corrections, I will claim those then by acclamation approved. Identification of new reps and alts who are here for the first time. Are there any? Yes, can you stand up and just introduce yourself and where you're from?
Dan Ganella, I'm from Sunmore.
Right, welcome, thank you. And next is Denise, who says she has a bunch of announcements.
Thank you so much. Okay, they're not a bunch of announcements really, but just a bunch of thank yous. I know it's the end of the year and this year is a little different because we have quite a number of 1PS board members stepping down after many years, as many as 7 years and as long as I've been here. So some friends that I've made longtime friendships with are going to be doing other things, going into commissions.
Okay, away from your friend.
Oh,
Away from my what?
Friend.
It's still, can I talk? This is kind of feedback.
wait. So turn that off and then it should work. Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Sandy. First of all, speaking of Sandy, Sandy has been an amazing troubleshooter for us. She scheduled us in this room for all these wonderful meetings that we've had. And today we had a little bit of a conflict and she and her sergeant were able to put these rooms together super quickly so that we can meet. And Sandy, come over here for a second. I just wanted to give you a little plaque from us. It says, Sandy Bosler, PSPD Professional Standards Coordinator, friend and supporter of 1PS. Thank you for creating a wonderful space for the monthly 1PS meetings and for your patient guidance in all technological related matters. You are truly appreciated.
Can we get a photo real quick, Denise?
Oh, sure. Sandy.
Smile pretty, lady.
Yay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sandy.
Thank you.
And I thought Nathan Gunkel, wasn't he supposed to be here today for the last meeting? Is he coming?
I don't think he is.
Okay, so on behalf of 1PS in the city of Palm Springs, we want to thank Captain Nathan Gunkel, who's been the fire department liaison to 1PS for at least as long as I've been here. And we just want to say thank you for informing and entertaining us during our monthly 1PS meetings and countless neighborhood organization meetings, and for always being there to take a call or solve a problem. Wishing you all the best in retirement. So we get that. Okay. Okay, now to just some thank yous. So the board members are stepping down. Like I said, they've done so much work. They've volunteered so many hours, as do the current ones and as do other ones. You guys who work so hard in your neighborhoods. But just a big thank you, first of all, to Don Barrett. Board of Directors 20 to 23, thank you for your countless hours and dedication to OnePS. Your problem-solving, analytical abilities, and editing skills are legendary. Thank you for filling so many leadership positions within the organization. You are truly appreciated. Tom Gardner's not here today. I understand he's sick, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, we'll get that to Tom, but he was served as treasurer for a number of years for us. Bob Farron, who's done just about everything for this organization. Thank you for the countless hours and dedication given to OnePS. We're a better city and organization because of your work to bring the community together. Thanks, Bob.
I was on the photo op. And I don't even have a clipboard to send around.
I know, right?
You said we're doing it.
Yeah, let's go. Don's
yeah,
a part of this committee too.
Okay, yes.
Perfect.
Yay.
Yay, thank you. Great. Thank you.
Shan's not here today.
Okay.
She's sick.
Also have something for Shan Carr as well to thank her.
I'll take it at some point.
Here you go.
Isn't that lovely?
Shan served as events co-chair for Modernism Week in 2022 and 23 and Lip Sync Battle 2023. Thank you for the countless hours and tireless dedication given to OnePS. You are truly a desert treasure. So give that to her. Okay, and now my partner in crime for so many years, we've been through just about everything, the NewSega conference and COVID and everything in between. So on behalf of the city and OnePS, I want to just thank Kathy Cohn for your time as on board of directors and your number of years as chair. You served on the board from 2016 to 2023. Thank you for your many years of service and for your tireless efforts on behalf of the board of directors and OnePS. Your years of community leadership are appreciated and admired.
Yes.
Thanks, Kathy.
Kathy, stand right there next to her. 1, 2, 3. Perfect.
Okay, and one more. Peter, your leadership over these many years, 3 years as OnePS chair, has been amazing. I don't know if that's the longest somebody's stayed as a chair in one organization, but thank you for your leadership, your patience, your friendship, always being here. I feel like you're part of the family, known as my work husband. All this time, all these guys are going on to commissions. He's on the Measure J commission, Kathy's on the sustainability, Don's on sustainability. Bob gets a well-deserved. What? Oh. I want to just say, you served as chair from 2021 to 23, vice chair 2020, treasurer 2018 to 2019. Thank you for your thoughtful leadership and dedication to the community and to the 52 organized neighborhoods of OnePS. Your steady presence, humor, and tireless efforts have grown and strengthened the organization. You are truly appreciated and admired. Thanks, Peter.
Thank you. 1, 2, 3.
Thanks, Peter. I'm always taking pictures.
Next on the agenda is the election of the officers and directors for 2024. Kathy Cohn, do you want to do the honors?
Yes, please. So today, one of the major things that we're here to do is to elect our new board of directors. And I want to remind you what our organization is primarily about, and that's about establishing relationships and good communication with the city so that all of us together can better serve our residents and our neighbors. We like to think that we're doing a good job, but we'd like to be doing a great job. So we had a few bumps in the last few years, including COVID and coming out of that. So I think we, if you look around the room and see how full the room is, I think we've done pretty well in getting ourselves reestablished. But it is time, I think, to move on. And as Denise said, I've been doing this for quite a few years. So, but I'm still in my neighborhood board, and I'm still a representative, so I'll be around. And probably I'll be volunteering, right? Okay, so Peter and I have been a good team, I think. We like each other very much. And we've been, we don't always agree, but we try to talk it out and figure out what's going to be best for all of you and for your neighbors, and also for the city. We're really dedicated to that mission that we have. So, anyway, thanks, Peter. Coffee. Yeah. Okay. Well, what can I say? Denise is my bestie. So I want to thank her for all she did, especially in Noosa days. That's when we really bonded. We worked at least 3 or 4 days a week at the convention center for about 6 months, I think, something like that. But at any rate, thanks, Denise. I love you.
Couldn't get it without.
So, thanks to the efforts of my 2 co-chairs, we have a slate of officers to present to you, but I want to thank Don Barrett and Richard Bowman. And if you ever need people to be persuasive, these are 2. You can look up these guys, and they're going to help you get the job done. So why don't you come up also so you can greet our candidates. Okay, as you are all probably aware, we have 5 officers and 6 at-large people. And after I call their name, I'd like them to come up and stand going across that way. And we're going to begin with our chair. That would be Chris Reese. Maybe not to take away from the others, but maybe we should just save the applause until the full rank is up. Okay? Kate Castle will be the vice chair.
There's always one.
Yeah. And
Always one.
I hope it's okay that I'm calling Catherine. Kate Salazar Gallivan is going to be our treasurer. And Kate has, you probably know her before. She just got married recently. So, yeah. Then there's at the secretary's spot is Patrick Stonebreaker. And communications director officer will be Megan Rodriguez. That's after we vote on all these people, right? Yeah. Okay, now the at-large people. Ned Barker, so I'm sorry, Ned. Dan Ganella is the second at-large. Lisa Hoff. Cynthia Session. Tim Schofler. And Ardeen Thompson. I think that Cynthia will be here because she usually has a meeting before this one, and I think she arrives a little bit after we get started. So as you know, over the last few weeks, months, we've been advising you of the process. The committee is formed in the summer. We recruit, and there are opportunities for self-nomination. And then we have a slate that we presented in November. And today we will be asking you to actually officially accept the slate and elect these people up here. And I really, really appreciate all of them being willing to serve. And I'd like to call for a motion. If you want to do that.
Call for a motion.
Yeah.
So moved.
Second.
A second? All in favor?
Aye.
By, if any objections. Okay, thank you so much for all of your. I think this is a very good board because it has a strong blend of experienced people and new blood. And we think that's going to be very beneficial, and we wish you all the best in your leadership. Yeah, great, thank you.
Thank you, Kathy.
All right, Chris, you can't have the microphone until January. All right, next up is Mayor Pro Tem, soon to be Mayor Jeffrey Bernstein.
We got one that works, great. Hello, everybody, happy holidays, happy Hanukkah.
Thank
Nice
you.
to see everybody, hope you're having a good holiday season. So I'm gonna open with, we got the $50 million for the bridge. I feel like this should be like a mic drop moment and I just leave now. Sort of go, that's sort of the best news, but yes. The California Transportation Commission awarded the $50 million to CVAG. The project's already underway. So it is, within a few years, we could have this bridge open. So it is kind of amazing. Things do happen. And it also came with funding from all the cities in the valley. So it's a $75 million project. But that is great news. There's only been one council meeting since we last met. That one was Monday at 10 a.m., which was about changing the specific plan downtown to turn Museum Way, which is actually Main Street, from Bellardo to Museum Drive into to take it off the specific plan, which means it's not a street on the plan. Which, as everybody knows, the process of going on is eventually the group wants to vacate the street, the city, and then would vacate the street and then potentially look at the agreement for the Forever Maryland statue. So that first part of changing the specific plan was a proposed ballot measure, which means you still have to do all three steps, but they were going to make the first part a whole ballot measure in March. But because council just adopted it outright, it is not going to go to ballot. The specific plan will be changed. That could be challenged by a referendum, which would be not until November 24. But if not, then the next step would be vacating the street and then discussing the agreement for the extension of Forever Maryland or not. So that is where that is. We have a council meeting this Thursday, the last one of the year. Thanks to City Manager Scott Stiles, we have 36 consent items. We actually delivered 2 binders to the house to read during the holidays in December. It's really nice, so just saying. So on the consent is a lot. There is some very interesting things. There is a number of Measure J projects that are being accepted as completed. The shade structure at Duluth Dog Park, the Boys and Girls Club got some stuff, drainage facility done. There's an agreement with Marcy's Village to have emergency shelter through March 15th, 2024. There's also some new commissioners who are being appointed, a couple resigning. We are going to have an opening on the Planning Commission. So, if anybody's interested, that will come up. There will be, Scott, has they published that yet? You know, the planning commission,
What?
the planning commission opening that J.R. Roberts has resigned from.
They have published it,
Okay.
I believe.
So that is open. It is going to be a relatively short window for applications because we're hoping to appoint somebody in January. So if you are interested or know someone, please go online to apply. And it's an important one. We have a couple public hearings that are coming up on Thursday. One is a street vacation at Crosley Tract, which I do not think will be very controversial. It's not a street that is really used. It's a collector street, which I haven't yet learned out what that is, but I think it's not a real street that is an issue. And there is also a call-up of the Starbucks that is proposed for Racket Club and North Palm Canyon. That, for those of you who don't know, that's a little corner next to Del Taco. A developer bought it. They want to do a drive-through only Starbucks, which is going to come up for, Planning Commission approved it 3-2. But then one of the council members is allowed to pull it and then bring it to council for a decision on whether we keep that approval or we override it. So that's coming up on Thursday. If you have an opinion, please share it. Send it in, a public comment. The other thing will be the council liaisons and committees. So I have been forced into continuing with 1PS for the next year. No, I mean, everybody was vying for it, and I said, I'm mayor, I get it.
What was first prize?
This was a fifth prize, but I won. That's and this is also the end of teleconferencing for boards and commissions and city council. City council is in person. Most of our boards and commission are in person. A couple of holdouts will now have to see each other in January. So that is happening. And there is the Plaza Theater. So just to give some background and answer some questions that have come up, this is a city-owned building. The foundation is volunteers. They privately raised or have commitments for $14 million. They got a commitment of $2 million from the city. They went out, they were told by their architects and designers that this would be a $17 million project. They went out for bid in about 2 months ago. I think it was 2 months ago. They went out 3 months ago, didn't get enough bidders. They went back again. They got 5 bidders, and the bids came in. There was one at $2 million, which was sort of which was written off very quickly. There was another one at 17 million, which turned out not to be valid, and all 3 of the others came back around 26, 27 million. So these bids have to either be, one has to either be accepted or rejected by January, or they all expire, at which point we would have to start over and go back out to bid. There's a city process, I shouldn't say odd since I'm part of the city, but there's a city process where you can't value engineer these until you actually have a bidder, a winner. But that is an option to do that, is to go and say, well, we want to cut this out or cut this down. There is another interesting factor into this, is that one of the reasons construction is so expensive is because the city has a community workforce agreement, and we require unions and prevailing wages, which means a big cost for any contractor is workers, but they're hiring local workers and paying good wages. So there's a benefit to this. Anyway, the Plaza Theater has come back and said we are committed to continue to fundraise. We still have $2.5 million of pledges that should come in. They're looking for tax credits that I think is about $4 million. They're hoping to get. And what they've also said is that this will be a professional theater that will generate not only economic impact for the city, but direct sales tax, Measure J sales tax revenue. So they're asking for the city to basically front $20 million towards these other issues, the tax credits, the future pledges, the fundraising, the other things that were gonna come, the value engineering, hopefully get that down. And that's coming before council on this Thursday. So I'm happy to answer questions at the end on that. Some fun things, and I know Denise was talking about Palm Springs Holidays is still going on. Check out palmspringsholidays.org. Every Wednesday and Sunday until Christmas, there are carolers downtown. So if you haven't seen them, I think all the rest of them are school kids. We have elementary, middle, and high school. It's really nice. They roam the streets and sing carols, and stores are doing lots of things. And hopefully this becomes an event that grows every year. I don't know if Denise will talk about Engage Palm Springs or not.
Next month?
Mention it next month. Okay, forget I said it, but it's EngagePalmSprings.com is a new work in progress to try and make the communication a lot more simpler, straightforward, and also complete and easy to find. It is only just launched, so it is lots of stuff to be worked out, but take a look at it. Hold off on feedback, and because a lot of it they already know about what things that need to be fixed and tweaked and added to, but it's something to just pay attention to. And hopefully this will start answering a lot of questions that people have in a much more easy to read and understand manner, and doesn't rely on everybody contacting staff individually. And also, big news, the film festival is going forward. The writer-actor strike was settled, so we'll have our big gala, which looks to be bigger and better than ever. Lots of movie stars to come in. It is incredible worldwide publicity for the city of Palm Springs. And there's some great movies. The schedule is out. Tickets are on sale. There's some great movies coming, lots of premieres, lots of celebrities coming. And tickets are started like $15. If you've not been to the film festival, go. It is relatively easy to get tickets. Some things sell out. I mean, the gala, you have to have a lot of money, but the going to see movies, there's really some amazing offerings, and they do it throughout the city, at the high school, Mary Pickford, the Regal, the Camelot, Palm Canyon, the Annenberg. I think that's everywhere. There's things where they do movie and a dinner, so take a look. Upcoming in January, we are going to have a presentation from the College of the Desert on where their plans are at. They're still saying, from as far as I know, that they'll have students in January 2027. That's something the city wants to make sure it really does happen. Also coming up will be a food truck ordinance. And I know we did the automatic license plate readers for the city, but we'll be talking about those for HOAs who have their own. Scott Stiles can mention what else is coming up on council because he hasn't told me yet. I'm never going to let him live down these two binders. And that's really it. One quick thing on your annual meetings for neighborhoods. If you're able to, check the dates with Denise or someone before scheduling. Because I know there's one upcoming, I think it's Indian Canyon. You've asked me to come, and I would really like to, but it's on a council night, which means all of council cannot come, and most of our senior staff all of our senior staff cannot come either. So check with Denise. She can always look up dates. She can check with staff and see who's available before you finalize it. It's just a good idea to do that, especially if you want staff or council to come. And I know Scott is going to try and have some other of his deputy and assistant managers attend some of the meetings, so he doesn't have to do all 52. But there are some really, Teresa Gallivan, Jeremy Hammond, and Flynn Vag, who are all deputy assistant managers, are brilliant and great to have, and also really good for the community to meet them, to get to hear from them, and for them to hear from you. And I think that's it. I'm happy to answer any questions. Yes, sir.
Jeffrey, the Engage Palm Springs website, is that to replace the current city?
No, but it is really more of and Denise can explain more, it's really a way to communicate more directly as a website should with the residents. The city's website has a ton of information, which is, if you know what you're looking for, if you want to look for agendas and history of videos and things like that, it's easy. If you want to know what's happening with a particular project, it's hard to find that on the city website. So that's what this idea is. And also to give updates on things and to give some more feedback, get more feedback as well.
And what's the date again for the council meeting in January?
The first one is the 11th. I guess the second one is the 25th.
Right.
Yeah,
11th and 25.
11th and 25th. The schedule is put out. It's pretty much always going to be the second and fourth Thursday. I think we've only had 2 dates that got changed next year. One is in February. They moved it to is there a 5th Thursday in February that it got moved to because it's a leap year. And then one other month got moved a week.
Can you elaborate on the end of teleconferencing, like for certain boards that do meet in person, but they have a teleconferencing function because there's outside people that sometimes join in? Is that going away totally, or just boards need to
The board itself needs to be there in person, and the commission, they'll still be televised or on Zoom or Spectrum or the city's YouTube. And obviously if you have a special guest or speaker, they can attend, but the board and commission and council have to be in person. There is a caveat. The old rule is that, I know for council, I don't know how it is for boards and commissions. A council member can be remote, but you actually have to post a notice of public hearing and allow the public wherever you're at. So if you're in a hotel room somewhere, you would have to put a notice of public hearing and allow anybody in your hotel room to come and watch that meeting. I don't know if that's ever been done. I actually do think somebody did do it once. Or no, actually more than once, yes.
Jeffrey, one quick question on the bridge for anybody who might be brand new. It was federal transportation funds, correct? $50 million?
California.
Oh, okay. And the bridge, is it the Gene Autry or the Indian?
It's the Indian. It's not the whole thing. It is just over a section of it, but CBAG says it will cover 95% of the problems. But the full bridge would have been $300 million, and we tried that for a long time. There's also some other elements of sustainability that are going along with it that are going to help. There's some environmentally things that are trying to be social responsible. So it's an interesting project. There are some design elements out there. I don't know how much the full one is.
Thank you so much.
Sure. Yes, sir.
So we have this great opportunity with the 2 bridge projects on Indian Canyon, both the railroad bridge and the one that just got the $50 million. And in that, it includes putting in a sleeve for sewer systems, which is a great thing. It's like we don't have the sewer lines in the business district between the freeway and the wash. But it has been planned, and the EDUs would end up paying for it. It's an $11 million project, but it's not scheduled to start. And I think it's really important that it does, because all of those businesses are on septic. Some are on older septic,
Right.
some are on new, and it's seeping liquefied sewage right into our aquifers, which means everyone in this group is affected by it. If we could get those lines in, so that once the bridge projects are completed and the Garnet Indian Canyon sleeve connection is there, we can get everyone hooked up. I've spoken with some of the businesses up there because they're in Upper West Side, and they're eager for it. For example, Pilot pays about $180,000 a year to maintenance their older type of septic system, and it's right where all of those businesses sit is on top of and next to our imported water spreading grounds, which recharge our aquifers. So it's really important. So if we could get that expedited so that when that sleeve is there, we can connect everything, that would be really helpful.
Okay, Scott, you got that? Scott is on. It makes a lot of sense. And it makes a lot of sense in general, some of these projects, you get very focused on one particular aspect, but there's a lot of surrounding ones. And this one probably, we have to be more careful, because what you're talking about is very much specific to Palm Springs. The bridge is obviously the whole valley. So, Scott will make sure this happens. 2 binders. Anybody else?
Making Scott go bananas.
Okay, thank you. Our council meeting is Thursday at 5:30. Oh, the other thing is, I will be sworn in as mayor and Rhonda Hart as mayor pro tem. So, and Grace this will be her, she'll be opening the meeting and having some remarks as well. So, it's open to anybody who wants to attend. Thank you. And thank you for your service to this board. I appreciate it.
Scott, over the last few minutes, we had a chance to come up with more projects and things for the mayor to read in the next couple of days. Scott Stiles.
Thank you, Peter, and congratulations to you and all the outgoing board members for all your work. Really appreciate it, not just by the elected officials, but also all the staff that are working with you all the time. So thank you. Yeah, we wanted to give Mayor Pro Tem Bernstein 2 giant binders to see if he was ready on his first council meeting. Now we're gonna pay the price because he's gonna ask us a million questions during the meeting. Just a couple things. I do want to reiterate the funding for the Indian Canyon Bridge project. This morning I had coffee with the new city manager in Desert Hot Springs, and we have a lot in common, and this is a project that's probably just as important, if not as important to Desert Hot Springs as it is to us. You've heard me say this before, it's their direct lifeline to Desert Regional Medical Center, which is again our only level 1 trauma center in the Coachella Valley. So for all the folks in Desert Hot Springs, getting to the hospital quickly is really, really important. So we've got a lot of work together to do, equally important to Cathedral City, and it's great that all the cities are contributing to this effort in the valley. So really important there. Just a couple things. Jeffrey covered a lot of the stuff that I might have mentioned, but there are a couple other things. We were talking to some of the folks at the Thompson Hotel, which is, the property at Alejo and Palm Canyon, still on target to probably open. We hope that north half of that building in February. And it's really, I think we're all going to be amazed when that hotel is finished and open, because it's really going to open up the city for everybody. Finished, lit up at night, all the skirting down from it, the landscaping up. It's going to really, I think, change the look of the city for folks coming in. So we're excited about that. You've heard a little bit about the Dream Hotel. We're on the north side of where our convention center is. We're continuing to have conversations with them. That property's kind of sat fallow there for a long, long time. And we're hoping we're going to have some good news about some movement on that property, moving some dirt around and getting things ready. So we're excited. We're excited about that. As the Mayor Pro Tem mentioned, it just occurred to me, we're a big city. We have lots of departments. We've got, I think, 650 full-time employees now. Lots of things going on. And I have some real important people on my staff that really help me coordinate with all of our departments. And Teresa Gallahan is our assistant city manager. Flynn Fagg and Jeremy Hammond are our 2 deputy city managers. And I thought it might be interesting for you at our next meeting, if the new president approves, I'd like to maybe bring them to the next meeting and just introduce the 3 of them to you. And what I'm trying to think about in the coming year is how can we be more involved as a city staff with all the neighborhood organizations. I can only be so many places. I know they've got me 2 or 3 meetings a night sometimes, and if I don't figure this out, I'm probably going to get divorced and I'm going to have to leave town. So, so I'm trying to kind of figure this out, and I think I'd like to get them introduced to you and talk a little bit. And so maybe they might be helping me in the coming year with some of the community engagement we're going to do. They're they're all great. They all have great skills. And so I just thought you might be interested in meeting them. So we might plan that. I got to enjoy my very first Festival of Lights parade a few weeks ago. It was just tremendous. I know all of you have probably been to it many, many times, but it's really kind of interesting when you're in the parade and you're going down, and just the number of people that we really had lining the streets. It was really pretty phenomenal. And just the crowds of folks coming from all over, I guess. And so it was really a nice event. As Jeffrey said, we're all getting excited about the film festival. It's just huge for our community. It does have worldwide appeal. We'll get recognized all over the world for what's going to be happening. So you've seen all the banners going up. We're working with the airport to get film festival banners up at the airport, so people are coming in. So they'll participate, go to see films, maybe remember to come back the following year. So all of that we're working pretty hard at. Just a couple things related. You know, one of the questions we have, we're going to talk a lot about the Plaza Theater on Thursday. It is a really important building to the community. It's, as I understand it, it's pretty much sat empty since 2014. And, you know, probably not much was happening for a few years, then COVID hit, and it is a city building. And, you know, anytime you have some folks come forward and say they want it, that they've raised $15 million to help protect the city-owned building that is in desperate need of repair. We really needed to take that seriously, and we've done a lot of work on trying to prepare some good information for our council members to deliberate on Thursday about what the next steps should be. So we're going to be talking a lot about that. I've had a few questions. One of the things that the city council has really given some high priority to me about are two other very large projects, two very important projects, which is the renovation of our public library and the building of a brand new District 1 fire station downtown. So I've had some people say, well, wait a minute, if you're doing all this Plaza Theater project, are you gonna have money for the other projects? And we've been working really hard on a financing plan to advance all three of those projects. In fact, at our meeting in January, we're going to be talking about financing of the public library and all the improvements there. So we're going to be talking about bond financing strategies, how we can make that project happen quickly. The fire station will come later on next year. They're doing they're doing a deployment study as we speak. Fire chief is here. There he is. He's in the back. So he and his team are working with me on a deployment study. And, you know, you just, as I said before, you can't just plop a fire station down any old place. It's really dependent on how it can respond and deploy within, what is it, Chief, 4 minutes? 4 minutes to every residence and every business within that particular district. So if you're talking about the District 1 fire station, you can't put it down in the south part of that district and then they can't get to the north part in time and vice versa. So we're in the middle of doing all that studying right now. And then once that's complete, we'll start to have an idea about maybe some areas that we can think about where the new facility can be sited. We can't tear down the old building and build there. That building's a Class 1 historic building. Needs to be protected, but we're going to be talking about how can we repurpose that building. I know that Chief and his team have all kinds of vehicles and other things where they can maybe make good use of that building after we build the new fire station. So what I can tell you is that we're in good shape as a city. We have good sound financial strategies. And people long before me and council members long before me have done the right things in terms of reserves and other financial strategies that I think have our city in a good spot where we can do projects like this. So it's going to be an exciting year. We have lots to do. I haven't even talked about stuff we have to do with Parks and Recreation Master Plan, the Convention Center, all kinds of things. So it's going to be a busy year.
Hi, could you just briefly tell us about the Navigation Center?
Good. Yeah, I did. You know, I've got so many other things. Navigation Center is coming along full speed ahead. You've heard me say before, we're doing an early entry facility for about 55 beds. We expect that will open probably the end of February sometime. And then around that same time, the self-contained units for the individual quarters where people can sleep, those will be getting brought in, set down, and those will house another 85 people. So those have to kind of get hooked together like Legos and infrastructure put in and everything else. Those will probably come online in June or July of next year. But we're working to have that first group of folks be able to come in and be in that facility at the end of February, early March, somewhere around there. So we're tracking fine with that. Things are moving along, and for our police officers that are here, it's going to be really, really helpful to them. You know, they're out there along with our social service providers, trying to find options and help for people that are maybe in bad shape. You know, they've lost a job, now they're homeless. Maybe they're dealing with the demons of mental illness, drug, alcohol addiction. And we want to be able to have an option for them if we can. And if our officers can have that option to tell people, there are some folks out there that are just straight up wandering around looking with bad intentions. And if they are telling our police officers, go pound salt, leave me alone, nobody can tell me what to do. Well, if we have options for them for housing, well, now they can take a little bit different approach when we do have options for folks. So it's, you know, you don't want to we want to help people that are homeless. Everybody here does. Nobody wants to see anybody sleeping on the street. We all want to do what we can to help. We want to do it the right way. So more to come. In January, maybe I'll have even additional news for you. Okay, thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Scott. We're now going to go into our monthly presentations. Over the last year, we've had short presentations, I think almost every meeting. Tonight, we have two short presentations. The first one is a presentation by an individual from Riverside County who is in charge of their connectivity project. And I'd like to introduce Tom Mullen to come up and say a few words.
Thank you.
You have a PDF or something you want to show?
Got it loaded in. Well, while he's bringing that up, let me introduce myself again. My name is Tom Mullen. I am with the County of Riverside. I am the Director of Broadband Services. I've been with the county now 24 years. I have held numerous roles, including Chief Deputy Treasurer Tax Collector. I was the tax man for a while, not a fun job. Moved over and worked in our Transportation and Land Management Agency as a Deputy Director. I've been in our IT shop since 2012 as Assistant CIO, Chief Information Officer. I've been the Chief Data Officer, so I've worked with a lot of data. And this year I took on the role as Director of Broadband Services. So why? Yeah, we'll just open up that PDF. Thank you. Thank you. So what I wanted to share and reason that I wanted to bring this forward, we've made a concerted effort and investment here in Riverside County to try and improve broadband connectivity, internet services throughout the county, in unincorporated community as well as within all 28 cities around the county. Riverside County Board of Supervisors made a $7 million investment to help get this program going. I'm happy to share that as of today, we began this project last fall of 22. We now are at about $165 million in investment in the community, multiplying that $7 million into $165 million through a couple of programs that are related to all things broadband. So let me just do this. Let's see. Oops. What do we do? Go back here. Yeah, probably is. It's me. It's user operator error. Clearly. Should be able to go right there and go to presentation mode, and there we go. All right. So really what we focused on are three primary areas. One is about improving the infrastructure. So this is literally bringing the internet services to your home. And our focus has been to encourage the three primary large internet service providers in Riverside County. That's Frontier, Charter Spectrum, and AT&T. Together, they cover more than 95% of all of the homes across the county, from Corona and Eastvale all the way through to Blythe. We work with them very closely to encourage them to bring high-speed internet services. So what's high speed? High speed today is defined as everything above 100 megabits of service. To put it in perspective, our cell phones that we're walking around with, a 4G connection, the old 4G LTE was, roughly 15 to 25 megabits of service. A 5G connection, generally speaking, is going to be about 100 megs of service. It can go much higher if you've got that golden connection to the cell site, which is really difficult to get these days because we're all sharing that. But we're looking to try really and bring, they call it gigabit level speed, 1,000 megabits of service up and down. Why does this matter? Well, we all have families. We're all trying to connect to the internet for work, for medical, for school, for learning, for entertainment, for connection to family. So we're looking to improve that level of service really ubiquitously across the county. So we focused on infrastructure. And that includes replacing all of the old copper lines. These were the old telephone lines that got turned into DSL service, and these were generally slow. At best, they can get to 100 megabits of service. More traditionally, it's about a 6 to 12, maybe 20 megs of service at best. So replacing all of that with truly fiber allows us to grow the level of service you can consume today and tomorrow. It really is a very durable, lasting technology. It's what we as a county utilize to connect the nearly 500 county buildings that we manage across the county. It is what is expected for all of us to be able to have access to. And this is about access. This isn't about requiring anybody, but bringing the service to you so that you can actually make that choice. If it's right for you, you can purchase it. The next piece is about affordability. And really on affordability, this is focusing on a federal program called the Affordable Connectivity Program. And I'm just going to click through to it in the, well, maybe I'm going to click through to it. Come on now. Next slide. Come on. There we go. I'm just going to click through. The Affordable Connectivity Program, or ACP for short, is a federally funded subsidy, $30 that goes against your home internet bill. 360,000 households across Riverside County qualify. That's nearly 1 out of every 2 households in the county qualify for this program. The way you qualify is either by income. A family of 4 that is earning $60,000 or less per year qualifies. Or you can be enrolled in many of the other programs. Medi-Cal, WIC, SSI, Lifeline Services, Veterans Pension, or Veterans Survivor Benefit Pension. It could be households that have children enrolled in school that qualify for free or reduced breakfast or lunch programs, which Today is all of California students. So 360,000 households across the county qualify for this great program. What happens is you get enrolled, and we've established a call center to help with this at 866-922-1016. We've got operators standing by today, 6 days a week, in English and Spanish to help you get signed up with whichever carrier you already may be working with, or if you need a carrier, we can help connect you with a carrier as well. We work with the federal government to get you signed up. They administer it, and those dollars go from the feds to the internet service provider to be applied to your account. It takes about 30 to 60 days in the background to bring that dollar to your account and have it starting to show up. And the nice thing is, it doesn't matter what internet plan you purchase. You can purchase the least expensive plan from the carrier, which today is generally a $30 plan for 100 megabits of service, or you can buy the most expensive plan, which would be a 5 gigabit service plan, which would be well over $100. And that $30 is simply going to go against that bill to reduce it. This has been a very, very successful program nationally, and a very successful program across Riverside County. We have assisted and encouraged and informed enough folks across the county now that 207,000 households in Riverside County are signed up. We're at nearly 58% of all the available households have now signed up. Do you have a question?
Is there a website?
Yes, there is. I will simply go right to it. We'll get to the good stuff here. This is my contact information as well as our website. Feel free to go contact me personally, and I will connect you with any of the service providers and or our team. Our team is available and here to help. We have folks attending events throughout the communities. So you may see a booth that we set up with folks from some community-based organizations, some volunteers that are working on our behalf to assist folks with that sign up or simply share information. We've done an awful lot of advertising across television, radio, billboards, flyers, direct mail, social media. Everything that we've put out has been in English and Spanish. Really, we're simply trying in this program to help you get connected to what is a great program. Now the caveat. Right now, the federal government funding for this is on pace to run out of money in the summer of '24. So we are advocating to Congress to renew funding for this great program nationally. We encourage all of you to do the same. And to that end, we're putting together another website page will be on rivcoconnect.org. We're putting together a page with some information and an ability for you to send a letter to the congressional team across California to encourage them to renew funding for this program nationally. This has been, quite frankly, the single most effective tool nationally to help close the gap on affordability for internet services to residents across the nation. Here in Riverside County, it has been very effective. So we have worked to bring internet services to where it's at, but where it's not, to upgrade services that are poor and old, get rid of the old copper and bring in the new fiber. We've worked to connect folks to the affordability programs. And our third piece that we're really working on is to close out the gap around education, learning, and devices. There are some households that, quite frankly, need help. Not everyone is skilled at working on computers. We all work on cell phones. Nearly 95 to 97% of all the residents in Riverside County have a cell phone. An amazing number. But not everyone is comfortable and practiced in working on a computer. And if you need to work, you need to go to school, you're trying to connect with your healthcare provider, it's much easier to do, generally speaking, on a computer than on a cell phone. You can do a lot on a cell phone and a tablet today, but you can do even more, quite frankly, with a full function computer. And so we're working on trying to identify dollars to be able to donate devices throughout the communities to those that may need a device. And we'll use the same criteria that we were talking about for the Affordable Connectivity Program as the criteria. We're working on trying to put together a package so that we can help folks to learn about how to use a computer. We call it digital literacy training. And those programs exist today, and they're currently being offered by different organizations across the county. We're working on trying to identify where and by who those are all being taught, bring them together so we can put some visibility to it, put together some scheduling of events that are occurring and be able to post that up so folks can actually find it in their community. Yes?
So, in lieu of that, so I've been doing computer training for seniors myself, and I can tell you, there are a lot of people who have computers and seniors and have no idea what to do with it. So part of that training, I'm not sure a package would help because I do one-on-one a whole hour with them.
Good.
Because they get too overwhelmed.
Yes.
You know, and we do a little bit, they come back next week, we do a little bit, and that's, I think, a much more successful way to do it.
It is. Thank you for sharing that. It's the best way to do it. Our Riverside County Office on Aging has incorporated a bit of the training into their home visits that they are doing as well. And through another grant that we had worked with them to receive, they are donating computers to seniors that need it and providing that training one-on-one in their home as well. You have my contact information. I invite you to give me a call, reach out to me. We're happy to help. We here at Riverside County truly are looking to close that digital divide and close down that gap as best we can. And we are looking to get as much information out to you and out to your neighbors as we can. If we can help, please let us know.
Thank you.
The second presentation today is by LP McClure and Christian Wheeler from Sustainability. LP.
Hey everybody, how's it going?
Good.
We're in a different order this evening. I'm just vamping for time while we get the slides out. And actually, I'm going to be doing almost no talking today. So you're going to be hearing from Christian today about some work that he's working on to help us understand a little bit more about how people move around and to and from Palm Springs. And just like that.
Hello, everyone. I'm Christian. I work alongside LP. I do transportation stuff and trees and shade, and I run the community garden at the Move. So I'll be talking about our department's transportation survey that we're conducting. So for carbon emissions for the city of Palm Springs, this is a little pie chart you can see. These are kind of our total emissions. Our biggest sector is transportation, which is a little bit tricky because it's changing habits and we can't necessarily control, how people get around based on infrastructure and, different things like that. So it accounts for 45% of our total carbon emissions, and this is up 4% since 2010. So right now we're conducting a transportation survey and we're looking at the different groups, so residents, full-time and seasonal, visitors, and people who are employed in Palm Springs but don't necessarily live here. And so with this data, we're looking for how it differs among the different groups, and then also how the needs and barriers might be different and overlap among the different groups. And then also this is going to help guide our future presentation or future projects, different type of pilot projects that we could, do in the future. So if everyone is saying that they want more biking infrastructure or something like that, this will help guide that. And then so just again, the three different groups we're looking at. So there is one survey for the residents, the full-time residents, seasonal, and the employees, and then a separate survey for the visitors. And so our engagement strategy has been different events. So we've been at the Farmers Market and we will be going to Village Fest. we've been reaching out to the different community centers, dropping off flyers, and also reaching out to different employers. And we've been on the website and newsletter. And then so far, we have about 147 responses from residents and workers, and then 10 responses from visitors, and we're looking to get about 150 more before the new year. We started December 1st, and we're hoping to run till January 15th, but we will extend it to get more numbers. And so it would be great if you guys could take the survey and pass it on to your friends. And you can find the survey on our website at yoursustainablecity.com. Also on the Sustainability Department website. It's the headliner a little bit below the banner. And then you can also, I brought some flyers so you can scan the QR code, and we will have iPads in the back. So you can take it here if you would like. So any questions?
What part of the carbon emissions is the airport? I didn't see that before.
So I think as far as like the standards go for accounting city-wide carbon emissions, the airport does not count in that as far as,
I can elaborate a little bit and get Christian off the spot. So emissions generated in the airport would be counted as building emissions. And emissions from planes coming to and from the city are under like citywide or like international city accounting policies, not currently counted as city emissions. That's something that will probably change over time. But just in terms of attributing who's responsible for what emissions, flight emissions don't show up in this existing profile. I don't know what they are right now, but it is a knowable number. And we can probably bring that data in the future.
any more questions? Yes, Don?
I blanked on your name, Christian, there we go. We will get it on the 1PS website also.
I will send you the flyer.
Thank you, Christian. Thank you, LP. Since Nathan Gunko is not here tonight, Ron Skyberg is here. I saw the chief was here briefly, but he disappeared. Oh, Mike is coming up.
No, I gotta fix that.
Okay.
He's our IT guy.
How's everybody going? Good. Everybody doing good? We just got a couple updates for y'all. Number one, the parade we were involved in. We had a truck 2 involved in it. I don't know if you all were there. We also had the 1931 El Diablo. It turned out to be a great event. A lot of people were on the sidewalks. I was on the El Diablo with my family, and it was a great turnout. Very grateful for everybody that showed up, and my kids loved it. So I hope you all had fun too and loved it. We have a group of new hires. We hired 12 in total. 11 started officially on Monday, with an additional one starting in about a week. Today they did a lot of administrative duties over at City Hall, and also performed a lot of testing called fit testing, where you put on your breathing apparatus and get it tested so that when you get ready to go into any fire or smoke or any dangerous atmosphere, you're protected. So next week, starting on Monday, they're actually going to hit the training ground. We call it the grinder. And basically, they're going to be out at the training center over at the airport, and we'll be training for the next 6 weeks and get them ready to go so that once they're assigned to their fire engine, fire truck, whatever station they're assigned to, they're ready to basically rock and roll. And when everybody calls 911, they'll be up to a standard in which is acceptable. So we're going to have them ready to go, and we're happy with that. Thank you to the city for supporting us with that. And then also we have a toy drive, December 24th. Excuse me, back up. It's not December 24th. The end date to bring the presents is December 24th. So right now, we're asking that any unwrapped gifts be brought to Station 2, which is located at 300 North El Cielo. Unwrapped gifts, and basically what you do, what we do, so you guys have a background story to it. What we do is the presents come to the station unwrapped, we gather them, and then we separate the gifts and we put them on tables. And what happens is the days leading up to Christmas, we have families come through into the fire station and we hand the presents off. I've been part of the ceremony, I call it, or event multiple times. It's very, very cool. You can see it in the kids' eyes. Before I had kids, it was, have fun, but once I have 2 little girls now, and it's different to see how happy they are when they get gifts, and especially when it comes from the community. And the presents that we're not able to pass out, we ultimately put them in our fire engine or fire truck. We drive throughout the communities and we'll hand them out to the kids. I think it's a great event, and being that it's my first one as the communications guy in the department, let's make it really big. So we'll be posting on social media. I don't know who has social media here. Yes, ma'am. 300 North El Cielo. Yeah, just knock on the door or ring on the doorbell, and one of our guys will, or one of our admin ladies will meet you at the door and take the presents, and we'll do the rest from there. And we're grateful for you guys and everything that you guys do in terms of supporting us. So, any questions other than that? Thank you.
Tell me your name again. I'm sorry.
Ronald Skyberg.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And you are replacing Nathan, who's retiring as the fire department's communications officer.
Yes, sir. I want to say his final day will be December 20th. Tonight, unfortunately, he wasn't here to get this pretty cool award. I thought it was pretty cool. I text messaged him. What ended up happening is, it was funny because as this award was being presented, part of what Captain Gunkel did was create solutions to problems. So tonight, when he was supposed to be here, one of our firemen actually got sick, so he got sent home. So they said, Captain Gunkel, tag, you're it. So he's downtown right now, and he's covering our district down there, and he's grateful for you guys. I text him that they love you, and hopefully you get to see him again. So thank you.
Lieutenant Villegas, Michael, you're next.
Finally, I get my chance to speak. Hopefully everybody's doing great tonight. Just kind of want to echo a few things. Peter, Kathy, you guys are amazing. You guys are just want to thank you guys for everything that you guys do. You guys, aside from getting to work with you guys and being at all these community events, you have a lot of love, and it shows. You don't have to cry right now, Kathy. You're awesome. You guys are awesome. Denise, you're amazing as well. I'll give you another hug later. Yes, our future mayor is awesome as well too. No, but seriously, everybody that's part of this group, the board, there's a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes. And the overall goal and the mission we are succeeding. We are great. We are operating at a high level. So I can't wait to talk about what we do as a 1PS group with the city, because I told you last time that Costa Rica is going to be coming out here in January. So I'm going to be doing a presentation how we do community relations. So I'm excited about that, to share this group with them. Next, I'm going to introduce our police media relations and PIO, Tamara Watkins. Come on up. So Tamara has been a great addition to our department. She's been here for a year, believe it or not, and she's finally making it to our meeting. She's great. She's been a great addition. You guys see all our social media pieces that are put together? Tamara is responsible for all that stuff, and she's awesome. So I'll let her introduce herself. She's gonna get me off the hook. She has a lot of things to talk about as far as events. So thank you again to everybody. That's all I got to report. One last thing, I'm gonna be a grandfather. I'm gonna be a grandfather. We're having a granddaughter in mid-April, late April, so I'm excited about that. So I just want to share that with you guys. So thank you.
Thanks, Gramps. Do you want to hand out some school PSPD swag?
Oh, we got some swag.
Oh, yeah. We got pens, pencils, badges.
I'm gonna put it back here. Everybody can have
magnets. We're getting in the swag game here. Thank you so much. This is so much fun for me to be here tonight and really connect with the community. So I'm going to be doing this regularly every month. So I'm excited. So Lieutenant Villegas and I will be tag teaming and here to answer all of your questions. So very happy to be here. Thank you so much. I just wanted to go ahead and talk about a few things that are coming up. The big Shop with a Cop extravaganza is coming up this year. This is my second year doing it. It was one of the first things I was assigned to do when I got here last September. So, you know, your first go around with a big project like that, it's a little nerve wracking, but now I feel like I've got a grasp on it and we're helping almost double the amount of kids this year that we did last year. So that's happening this Saturday, the 16th at Walmart on Ramon Road. All the kids are hand selected by the Boys and Girls Club, the school district. They're identified based on need. So we're really making a difference with those kids and those families that need it the most in our community. So really feel good about that. And also want to just thank the community that has come up to us during Village Fest, during the pickleball tournament that we had to raise funds for Shop with a Cop. It was pretty amazing. So thank you for everybody who showed up. If you missed it this year, it'll be bigger and better next year too. So mark your calendars, next December, we'll be out there. Also, our Citizens Police Academy graduation, it's tomorrow night. So they've been in about a 3-month class that meets once a week and they're graduating. And then the next one will be coming up soon. We'll make that announcement as soon as we know when the next class starts. But that's tomorrow at 6 p.m. We do have a big blood drive coming up on Tuesday from 10 until 2. I do have some flyers up here if you're interested with the information. I can leave them in the back if you're interested in that. But it's Tuesday right here in the training center from 10 until 2. So if you can, please donate. You can actually go to the Livestream Blood Bank website and register a time so you can be in and out of here real quick.
That's the 19th.
That is the 19th, next Tuesday, Classroom C. And then Monday, we have Operation Holiday Cheer, which is really cool. Basically, all of the agencies from Riverside County, actually San Bernardino County is also involved. They drive by hospitals, every local hospital, and the hospitals get together, their staff, nurses, doctors, some patients who are able to make it outside. And it's a big parade of all of the law enforcement vehicles, the motors, the Bearcats, the squad cars, just all of it. And it's a lot of fun. So that's happening at Desert Regional on Monday, the 18th. We meet at Ruth Hardy Park and everybody lines up there. And then we drive by Desert Regional and then our guys will lead everybody else out of town and then they'll go on to the next town and the next hospital. So it's an all day thing. And, but if you're around Desert Regional on Monday, around 12:30, 1 o'clock, and you see a bunch of squad cars from all different agencies, don't worry, it's a good thing. Also, Do the Right Thing. If you haven't heard about it by now, it's an amazing program recognizing kids for outstanding achievements, whether they're making improvements in their workload at school, whether they're just helping out another child, just doing good deeds, they're being recognized. And we do that the third Wednesday of the month, also right here at the PD. It starts at 3:30 and you're welcome to come and see these amazing kids get recognized for some amazing work. Also, so our next one is on the 20th which is next Wednesday. And then right after that, we're having a swearing in ceremony for our newest employees. We're swearing in 4 officers, a community service officer, an administrative specialist, and a dispatcher. So we're really excited about that. And that's all I really have at this point. But if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. You can email me, call me. I'm Tamara Watkins, so thank you. And I'll hand it back over.
I'm not done yet. Great job, Tamara, great job. No, I did forget to mention one thing. This is for Paul. So one of the first things that Acting Captain Gus Ariza did. So the app has been updated. The My Palm Springs app. If you want to report abandoned vehicles, it's on there. There's an icon on there. So the way it works real quick, abandoned cars on the streets, on public roadways, we can address as a police department. But if there's an abandoned vehicle on private property or residence, that is handled through code enforcement. Those types of calls are going to come to us and we can delegate accordingly. So we'll address it that way. So that's it. Just want to provide that info. You have a question, sir?
What's the definition of abandoned vehicle?
Well, I'm not going to recite the vehicle code, but to keep it simple, if there's a vehicle on the street that has cobwebs or has been parked there for numerous days or weeks, I mean, let's use a little bit of common sense that if it's been there and it hasn't moved, that's pretty much considered an abandoned vehicle, right? The goal is we don't want to leave vehicles out there on the street that have been left, or it could be a stolen car. We don't even know. When we went to Santa Fe, we identified a stolen car up there. So it can be as simple as that. So this is an easier way for you guys to report it to us so we can address it. So there's a vehicle code separately, or the municipal code that addresses commercial vehicles, RVs, trailers, boats that are parked in residential zones. So the ordinance changed several years ago when they posted at the entry and exits of the city that we can enforce it now. Before we weren't able to enforce it. So you remember when I was over code, we couldn't enforce it. Now we can. So we try to work with our neighbors, right? So if someone has their RV and they're using the street just to park in front of their house, that's not allowed. So you can call us and we can deal with it that way. Yes, sir.
The driveway was okay.
No, it's not. That's the city ordinance. You're not supposed to have any commercial vehicle parked in your driveway unless you get a permit through the city and you can park it. It could be in the back or if you have a specific driveway. But ultimately, the city ordinance does not allow for commercial vehicles to be parked in residential zones. So a commercial vehicle, like we're saying, it could be a boat, it could be an RV, it could be a trailer, even semis. We were having an issue with semis a couple years ago on the south side of Palm Springs that we had to deal with off Mesquite. Yes, sir.
If I loaded my RV and got there overnight.
See, something like that, we're not gonna harass you, sir. Okay? We understand that people going on vacation, they want to load or clean the RV or stuff like that. That's reasonable, right? But the issues we're talking about is when they park it for days or weeks, or they're just keeping space up there and they shouldn't be out there. They know that. No, so do you guys understand the 72-hour rule?
Yes.
No? So when a vehicle gets reported as abandoned, right? We tag the car. That car has to be moved within 72 hours. It doesn't necessarily mean that you park your car out there for 72 hours. It's when the police gets involved, they tag it, then we have the right that deem it abandoned and we can tow it out of that area. All right? Yes, sir.
That reminds me, during festival season, we see a lot of these mobile homes that are perhaps Airbnb out in front. We see the power line going to a house.
Right.
Is that something we can call on, or is that legitimate for 72 hours?
If it's been there more than 72 hours, then yes, you can call on it. Again, we want to work well with our neighbors if they have family or stuff like that. And again, but if they're just taking advantage and they want to live out in their trailer, because we did have that during COVID. If you guys recall, there was a lot of families that were living in mobile homes and trailers. So again, right now, post-COVID, we want to deal with the nuisance issues. If we've identified there's a motorhome that's a nuisance, that's how we're going to address it. All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you again. Danny DeSantis from Emergency Management is not with us, but Rick Weingart from CERT is.
Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. Rick Weingart from CERT, Community Emergency Response Team. Everybody know what that is by now?
Yeah.
Yes, other than you, Paul. Thanks for having me. Just a couple things. We have an upcoming free emergency response class coming in January 19th, 20th, and 21st. It is free. It's a 20-hour class. Palm Springs Training Center for Fire. And there will be another class in April that we are scheduling. So if you haven't signed up or you haven't been through the class, it's really important. Emergency preparedness, what to do in a disaster, wide area emergency. And fortunately, we've been pretty lucky. When we had Hillary, we had advance notice. I was doing windshield surveys then for Danny. I was out in the field. He was in the EOC. So I would come across a certain area that was problematic. Maybe we didn't have cameras in that area, so I would be reporting in. When I was driving around for Hillary, I thought, what if we were to have an earthquake at the same time we had the storm?
Yeah.
Something to think about, not to scare anybody. Again, we've been really fortunate. So emergency preparedness training really helps. I did bring some handouts today. And there are enough for everybody. So they're door hangers that we came up with several years ago. We had emergency management coordinator. Her name was Angela Lebsock. And she and I worked on these. And it was a way where if there's an emergency and you have these, you could actually hang it on your door. This one says help others, meaning you're okay, not to worry about me or not to worry about my household. Go help others. There are some HOAs that I've been at meetings with and neighborhood watches where they hang a dish towel on their front doorknob to signal that they need help. It does not mean come on in and wash my dishes.
Yeah.
The only problem with that is it doesn't mean a lot to a lot of people. They see a dish towel on the door. Maybe somebody needs help, but we don't know how urgent that is. So the first card, green, go green, help others. Second card that you'll find, and there's enough for everybody in this room here to take them when they leave, is a yellow. Need help soon. Maybe there was some kind of an emergency at your house. Maybe you hear water flowing in the back of the house. You're not going to stand at the front door waiting for help. You're going to attend to what your problem is. Hang this on the door, meaning you're okay for now, but somebody check on me soon. We have, when we did these, we printed over 5,000 of each card. They've been in our emergency container for 5 years. It's time to give them out. So Danny's not here, I'm giving them out. The last card we have is need help now. Okay, everybody see it? Red, need help now. It's an emergency situation. It does not mean you're out of margaritas and tortilla chips. Okay, it means that you need help now. Having these cards on the door, if they're seen from the street, can alleviate police stopping by and taking the time to check on you. It can alleviate fire department from stopping by to check on you. But certainly if there is one, this brings attention. In some HOAs where you have a 6-foot fence or wall, you will not see this from the street. If you have a gate, you can hang it on there. Not everybody can use these, but it certainly is something to just have. On the back of each one, there's information for pets and supplies needed for pets. There's information on planning, and there's information on the other cards as far as what to have for emergency preparedness. Okay, the last thing I'm going to ask you, during the holidays, when you're with family, you're with friends, if you don't do anything else, and before you've had too much to drink or too much eggnog, please have a little discussion about where do I go in an emergency? Meaning you have a household, you have kids that are going to be in other states or other areas, you have family, you have friends. In an emergency, where will you be? Does everybody meet at your house? Does everybody meet at your granddaughter's house? Have a local phone call or a local area to text, meaning a contact person. So in an emergency, you can contact that person and say, we're okay. Our house is okay. Talk to the kids. And everybody calls into that same person. It's also good to have one out of state, because in all possibility, the texting here, the cell sites, the phone lines could be down. But it is sometimes easier to reach an out-of-state contact. So that's all I have for now. Thank you so much. All these will be on the back table. Please take them and have a good holiday. Thank you. Yes.
One of the great things that you did for us was tell us that we should send those out at our neighborhood organization meetings. And I think that's a great suggestion to others if you can.
Yes, if anybody needs these, you can get hold of Danny. You can get hold of me through Danny or through the fire department as well. We have stock on all these. They're readily available. We'll make sure you have them for your neighborhood meetings or your neighborhood watch meetings. And by all means, give them a nod if you can use them. Yes, questions?
How do you find out that it's January?
It's on the Palm Springs City website. Okay, and go under events and you'll find it there. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Rick. We're running late tonight. This is the first meeting I have not ended on time. I apologize, but it's been an interesting meeting. I can tell you in terms of Treasury that through the efforts of Bob Farren, we're doing better than we ever have. Thank you, Bob. You want to make some comments about events?
The only thing is the 15th annual picnic is Saturday, March 23rd, Route Hardy Park. Joy and April will be here in January with the forms. We'll send them out to you. But picnic, March 23rd.
Thank you, Bob. Chris, you have nothing from neighborhood support? Okay, this will be yours next month. Denise, you want to close the meeting?
Oh, sure. Yes, okay. I have a little contest. So look, everybody stand up and look under, just pull a chair up and see if you have a yellow circle sticker on the bottom of it. No. Just fluff it out and turn it over. Anybody? Paula does?
No.
Okay.
Oh, Paula does.
These are.
She says she does.
These are little, who else, you? And who else?
Nobody was on bed.
They're a chair that nobody's sitting in.
All right.
Look under other chairs, so if nobody's in it, you can have it. So, just thank you again for everything. Thank you for a wonderful year. Have a Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Holidays, and look forward to seeing you in 2024. All right, thank you, and thanks to Peter and Kathy and the board and everybody else who's participated. Very appreciate it. And Mayor Pro Tem Jeffrey Bernstein and our city manager and all. Thanks. Bye.
Thanks, everybody, for coming. See you all next week.
Okay.